Boom, there we go. All right, cool. Things are working. Okay, so what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We're here, all in the same mindset. Everybody's pissed off. I'm pissed off. I only watch the show, but I'm pissed off. Joe is livid. On VC, we have both Juanita and Jaime. So it's gonna be a very, very interesting stream where people air out and discuss bullshit. So let me go ahead and patch them in. Okay, y'all. I hear myself now.
Okay, I muted you on the
stream.
So we're live, y'all.
Hi, everyone.
All right, Joe, we're live. Joe has his popcorn. He's ready to go.
Why do you have popcorn?
Pass the popcorn, Joe.
What? Oh.
Yeah, Joe will pass the popcorn. He'll pour half of them on himself first.
Phone so I can turn this down a little bit.
Oh man. Okay, so first of all, good night, everybody. Not as in good night, I'm leaving, as in have a good night tonight. Whew. Oh man. Game of Thrones. We had 7 lovely seasons, right? Juanita, right, Jaime?
Right. Mm-hmm.
See.
Okay, so people like to say that seasons 5 through 7 was when you were able to see the downfall of Game of Thrones. I don't agree. I enjoyed it. It was still good. And honestly, any season compared to this season was pure gold. Last night was the night of betrayal. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was I personally feel like because it's such a horrible season, that is like the best they could do.
Right. So that's exactly what I said, Jaime. That was the first thing I said, was that given how last episode went,
Yeah.
there really was no other way for them to go this last episode.
Yeah.
But even then, they still messed it up. Like, it's
Yes.
just like...
Yes.
Yep. So, oh man, I am so excited because Mike Murdoch, thank you for that donation.
Thank you, Mike.
So, I've been watching other YouTubers complain about last night's episode. I looked at Twitter a little bit, and I was like, hold up now.
Discount. Look it up. Discount.
Thank you, Mike.
Discount.
Thank you.
Look it up. Discount.
Oh man.
Look it up. Discount. Look it up.
So as I'm sorry to repeat myself, so I'm watching these people comment and talk. I'm like, hold up now, hold up. I'm a part of a channel too. I can talk about my shit. I'm pissed off. Like, I'm pissed off too. So I rush here after work, and I want to say this: there is no way in hell you can tell me that this season / this episode that just passed last night was good.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. You have people out here who say, well, if you look deeply into the episode, I can see where they tried to go. No, the fuck you can't.
Mm-hmm.
No, the fuck you can't. That's like M-Dog telling me, hey, struggle soldier, wake up. I have somewhere to take you. Me and him, we walk for 8 hours just to end up on the front porch, and that's where we stop. And now I'm looking at him like, yo, kiss my ass, dog. You don't wake me up from a 2-year sleep just to tell me that Sir Bran, who can't move, is going to be like come on, come on, Juanita and Jaime. Okay? Tell me if I'm wrong. When Tyrion first boarded up to Bran, he was like, Bran, I think that you should be king. Did Bran say no? I can't. Did he not say that?
He said that even when he asked him, oh, you should be Lord of the North. He's like, no, I don't want to be. And then
Right. So first you say no, and then he gets all wizardy and says, he sits back in his seat and he does that dumbass look, and I can't see because my contacts aren't in face.
Right.
He sits back and then he says, You know what? This was my plan all along. But you just said no.
Right. He tried to be Doctor Strange, like he saw the possibilities and said that's the reason why Jon Snow was where he was. That was the reason why.
So
He said no to the North
There's only
was
one
because he saw
possibility.
this coming.
I must be king in order for everything to be
right. You have to be kidding me. Like everybody's sitting underneath of this Build-A-Bear tent, and they're trying to come up with this great discussion, as in, well, the king should be chosen and not just born into rule. Like, I get that. I'm okay with that. But Bran, at this point, I just want you to shut up. Like, don't talk. Don't talk, because I am not going to say too much, because, to those out there who are handicapped, like, that isn't funny. It's just that for us to watch 8 seasons of this shit, you give us Jon Snow as the face, right or wrong?
Yep.
Is Jon Snow not the guy whose name pops up in your mouth when you discuss the king when this show is over? That's who you think of, right?
Well, yeah, his character development, pretty much became
In my opinion, his character development went straight out the window the last 2 episodes. Because in the end, he was even like, "Did I do the right thing? Should I have killed her?" Like,
Yeah.
come on, John.
What happened to
Come
What
on.
happened to the Jon Snow who knew which decision to make? The strong Jon Snow, like this is Jon Snow this season. She's my queen. It's her decision. Was I right? Was I wrong? She's my queen. Like,
Bend the knee.
okay, bend the knee. And I'm looking at him like, who are you? Like, this is Jon Snowflake. This is not Jon Snow. Like, I want no parts of him. The writers destroyed him this season, and I think it's safe to say.
And Jaime.
Oh, say it.
Wait.
Say it one more time.
Before you
They destroyed Jaime.
Oh yeah, right. Before you continue, did you guys see the pictures that they posted of how they messed up the episode again?
Huh? They posted.
You know how? Remember how episode 4 they had the Starbucks cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode they found 2 water bottles.
Look it up.
Oh my god.
So
They just didn't care.
Yeah, thank
The
you.
editors didn't care.
one was like right behind I think it was Sir Davos' foot, and then the other one was somewhere else. And it was like literally is one of those pictures when you look at it, you don't really look at it until they circle it, and then you see it, and it's like, oh shoot, it's right there. So it's like it's one of those things. Like it's not like how obvious it was the Starbucks cup when right in front of Daenerys, but this one was right behind behind their legs or something like that. But you still see it.
Are you serious?
So it's like it's one of those things. Like seriously, like you have not learned your lesson about showing something that don't belong there.
But let's be honest. These mistakes, like the Starbucks cup, whatever other things popped up that weren't supposed to be there, I expect that from these two dumbass writers. Like, let's be honest, they rushed it. They wanted to work on Star Wars so bad that they literally put Game of Thrones in the back of their mind. Like, they put no effort. I don't care about the HBO documentary that comes on after the show. They talk about why they did this, why they did that, all of the work that went into it. No, you didn't put any work into it. I'm like, okay.
I literally couldn't even stand to watch it. I didn't.
Right. Why didn't you sound like everybody else? It's not like we're on here and we're just a small amount of people who hated the last episode. No, I hate to say it, but half of everyone who watches this show was just like, no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, Haley Ford. The thing about Jaime Lannister, not me. I'm much cooler, but
Well,
the thing about Jaime Lannister is like his kind of situation is kind of reminds you of what is his name? Beyond. They both betrayed. They both done a lot of like horrible things in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of redeemed themselves throughout the time, like later, and they both died. So one died by protecting Bran, right? Theon. The other one just died
Protecting who?
going back to save his queen. But at the same time,
But
he also helped
that made
you
it
know.
bad as far from a writer standpoint. Yes, Theon died.
Theon redeemed
He
himself.
redeemed himself, whereas Jamie didn't redeem shit. He ran underground.
Discount. Look it up. Discount.
Oh, Matt, thank you for
Look
that
it up.
donation.
Discount.
Matt.
Look it up.
Thank you,
Discount. Look it up. Discount.
Wait, was that the same guy? No, it wasn't. Different guy.
Now bear with me, you guys, because when I get angry, my brain places words in all different directions. So I'm trying to figure out what to say. Theon died protecting who? Bran, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Which made his death. It allowed you were comfortable with that, right?
Right. It was a
Yeah.
honorable death.
Right. It had meaning to it. He ran up into the king of the White Walkers. He said, "No, I'm going to die protecting Bran." I get it. I liked it. You were you were a man about yours. Whereas Jaime, you spend all these seasons reinventing Jaime Lannister just to allow him to die underground with a woman who should have died way worse than what she did.
Exactly.
And she sent Bran to kill him.
Oh, thank you. There goes another character. Bron, what happened to his character this season? If I'm Bron, the actor, I'm going to ask the writers. Did you forget that I am actually a part of this show? He showed up one episode. Like he received the bow and arrow from Cersei. Then he shows up out of nowhere, and he's able to enter. What was that? Winterfell.
Yeah.
He mysteriously just pops up out of nowhere. I don't know if he came from under the dirt. And he's just like, "Hey, you guys, I'm here, and I want what's owed to me." And this is early on in season 8. After that, you no longer hear from him. Like he doesn't get to fight anybody towards the end. And
Tim said, "Why did Bran just forget the whole killing Tyrion?"
Oh, killing Tyrion?
What do you mean?
Oh, because Tyrion promised him the land and the seat in the court.
Right.
So he said, "I'm gonna make it, and if I make it, you're gonna have the land and the seat in the court," and that's what he got. That's why he didn't kill Tyrion.
Well, he gave up. He was like, he's not going to be part of that war. That is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of it all, he wants what he wants. So he doesn't care what the outcome. Technically, he doesn't care what the outcome was. He's getting what he's gonna get.
Right.
So because either way, because if Cersei wins, right, then he'll get he'll get a castle. If Tyrion or Jaime wins, which is technically they were on the other side by then, he was gonna get a castle too. So it was like he didn't want to be involved because either way he's gonna get a castle.
So he figured I'm gonna get what I want regardless. So why would I why would I involve myself?
Right. Why would he want to risk his life again between somebody who has a dragon like that? Because he witnessed how crazy the dragon was.
Right. He actually. We all remember when Bronn saved Jaime from the flames of Drogon.
Bronn said yes.
He pushed him out of the flames. Yes. And I don't mean to have my conversation scattered, but there was so much wrong with this season that shit. It is what it is. Shit went everywhere. You want to talk about shit hitting the fan? These directors picked up turds, threw it towards the ceiling fan, and shit went everywhere. Nothing landed in an organized fashion.
Mm-mm.
Let me write down. I'm going to write down a few names, and every name that I call out, I want Jaime and Juanita to explain why this person had his time or her time wasted this season. I have a major one for you and Jaime. Arya Stark, go. Let's get it. I know.
What was the point? Like, what was the point in making her such a strong part of episode 3 So then that was it. And then they say, "Oh, she's just gonna go like discover the West. That's it. That's all she."
So
So
her character development, right, even as a young girl, she was she was a little better than she was definitely better than Bronn, right? I'm not Bronn, Bran, right?
Yeah.
She couldn't shoot, and she was able to shoot the arrow right to the target, right? Isn't that was her, right?
mhm.
Mhm.
Yes. So she always been like a fighter. Now her ultimate goal was to kill Cersei. That was number one on her list.
Right,
Her and
and she would always say it.
yeah, she's gonna kill the queen. She's gonna kill the queen. She's gonna kill the queen. Now Melisandre told Arya Stark that she will she will shut eyes, right? Blue eyes, green eyes, and what's the other one? Red eyes, not red, whatever, brown eyes, whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but so blue eyes technically is supposed to represent the White Walkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now we can see why she was the one because of that reason. However, how they made it that way, where it's kind of in a way she had nothing to do with the White Walkers, because she wasn't in a fight with them before.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't really witnessed that much of them. Jon was the one who was there the whole entire time. And for her to just come in like, oh, I know exactly where to stab him, for him to just
Stay right there. Stay right there. Hold
okay,
that
brown.
note. Hold that note. That pissed me off to the max. This young girl, I don't care who trained her, I don't care what god she worshiped, this young girl had never encountered a White Walker. Guess who did? Jon Snow. So who better than to have the final shutdown of the White Walkers than Jon Snow, right? And I get it. You don't want your audience to be able to predict anything, but I mean, come on now. Let's be real here.
Tim brought up a good point too. Was that they made her seem like such a strong character, and then as soon as she was like, "I'm gonna go kill Cersei," and he was like, "No, you should go home." She just was like, "All right, bye,"
Right.
left.
It kind of was like that because while they were riding together, he was like, don't plan on coming back, and she was like pretty much the same thing.
Right.
And then they're already there. They're in King's Landing. They're like, I don't know, like 30 steps away from where they need to be. And then he was just like, I love you, like whatever. Don't want you to end up in the same fate as me, so you should go. And she was like, okay, thank you. What did you call? What's his name? What's his real Sandor? He was like Sandor.
Yeah.
Sandor Clegane.
And that was it.
Yeah, look.
That's their separation.
That was the separation, and that was it.
And you know what? I agree. You know what, Jamie? Thank you so much, Juanita. Thank you so much. Because right now, I'm so angry that I can barely, bring up certain points clearly. I'm so happy that Jamie talked about Arya being quick to say, okay, well, if you tell me to go back home, I'm going to go back home. When has she ever listened to anyone that easy? All he said was, look, I'm about to die. You're going to die if you go with me. And she said, okay, I'm going to find somewhere else to go. Like a kid going back to his room after the mom says, you don't want to go with me to go pay these bills. She just walked off.
She just walked off. That was it.
She gave him a hug and walked off. Like, okay, Dad, I'll see you when you get back from hell. Like, like what? I'm just not. No.
So I understand why. So they wanted. Okay, so you know how Daenerys is up there in the sky, burning everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the writers said they wanted like a different perspective from the ground, and so they use Arya as that perspective, right? But if you're watching like the last 40, was it 40? No, the last hour of that episode, you see her running around, right?
Yep.
But it's like she's trying to save somebody, but then that person dies. She's trying to talk to somebody else, and that person dies. And then falling rocks. I'm like, how can you? I'm thinking like she has some kind of like she knows exactly where to go or something like that, right?
Yep.
But then everybody just ends up dying and or burning. Like I'm like, girl, you either need to go or or something, or you'll end up dying.
Yep.
Like, okay, I thought your point was you're gonna leave now because um wait, you're gonna leave now because you're separating yourself from Sandor, but you're not really trying to survive at the same time because everything's falling and you're like trying to like save people at the same time when everything's like I was just like, this episode that episode was just complete pointless. It was like they needed half an hour. You did for her to burn down everything that she did.
which was predictable. I was calling it from the beginning of the episode. I said it doesn't matter. She's just gonna burn the whole place down.
Now, Juanita, I didn't think that.
Really? I knew the whole time I was sitting there. My friends was like, "No, she won't," and I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. She's gonna burn them all down."
But
Especially with how the last episode had ended, I'm like, they're going with she's going mad like her father, and they're just gonna go straight with it. They're just gonna do
right,
everything.
and I understand that. Now, this is me being foolish. This is me being stuck on seasons 1 through 7. When the writing made sense, I was like, okay, I understand. Daenerys is pissed off. Missandei's, did I say her name right?
Yeah, Miss Sunday.
Her head has just been chopped off. Grey Worm's angry. Daenerys is angry. She just lost her last piece of advice. I get it. But I was like, I said this to myself. Why would they build Daenerys' character to turn her into Satan? Why would they do that? Why would you waste 7 seasons on building this woman up just to bring her back down to be just like her father? They won't do that. So the bell rings and she's on top of the dragon. And I'm looking at her like, what are you doing? Why are you not getting down? Like, why are you still looking at the city as if you want to set fire? And she does it. Next thing you know, everybody turns into Infinity War does. I'm just like, oh, this is some bullshit. And I didn't see that coming. Juanita, you saw it coming. Jamie, did you see that shit coming?
Well, I knew it was going to be more than just like she wasn't just going to just give up like that, but I didn't think she was going to burn the whole entire city. I thought maybe she'll go up to the Red Keep and go face to face with Cersei now that she burnt down all the scorpions, right?
Mhm.
So nothing else is really can go against her and her dragon.
Right.
But instead of doing that, because she wanted to kill Cersei, that's the one that she's the tyrant, right?
Yep.
Instead of killing the tyrant, you're pretty much you're burning everything else because at the same time your people are down there, so you could have burned your own people and you probably wouldn't even know
They
because you're
made
all
her.
the way up there.
Yeah,
That
they
pissed me
made her
off.
seem like a smart like a very intelligent, leader, and then she basically had a very childish reaction
Yes.
to the whole thing, and it was just like, well, the people should know that Cersei put them there so that would do that. So I'm just gonna do it,
And
and it's
that's
like, wait, what?
but that's what she said. When she said that to Jon, I was angry. I was like, come on, Daenerys. Do you really feel as though those people were used as a weapon against you to show weakness? No, like you had to make a choice as a woman who wanted to be queen. You don't burn innocents, no matter if Cersei was using those people or not. I was hoping her character would, just say, let me go directly towards where Cersei is looking down and just burn her down. But they didn't allow that. And, like, how do you feel about Cersei dying by the hands of Daenerys without Daenerys even... Like, let's be honest. Did Daenerys even know Cersei died that way?
No.
That is the thing, though. How did she know she even died?
Right.
Like she finished, right? She pretty much finished like burning the whole city and left or whatever, right? And then how do you know that she didn't hide somewhere?
Right. And that's
or
where
something like that.
that's where the horrible writing exposes itself, because Daenerys, you have a very, very deep hate for this woman. If this woman is to be killed by you, don't you want to say something to her? Don't you want to look in her eyes? Don't you want to have this like epic standoff before you burn her? Don't you want to say, "Yeah, bitch, I finally got you." Now, Zakaris, look into his mouth, watch it light up, and just go away.
Right.
No, like she killed Cersei by mistake.
Varys got the death that Cersei deserved.
Oh, didn't he? Oh my god.
Right, pretty much. I sent you, did I? I was expecting that. I sent you, the whole thing about how she did Varys. I believe something that she would be doing, Cersei. The whole whatever I sent you to die. No, that didn't happen. Like I'm pretty sure she had no idea that Jaime was there, right?
Look, no.
Like it's one of those things. Like what? Like just watching the whole entire series, the last season, it was just like the first 2 episodes. I actually liked it. I liked how they were building up the story, and then I was like, we were waiting for episode 3. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing.
Hold up.
It took 55 nights to make this episode. It's gonna be great.
Hold up. Did you enjoy? Hold up, Jamie. You said you enjoyed episodes 1 through 3 or 1 through 2?
No, 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
So, in the back of your mind, did you enjoy these episodes because you thought to yourself, these episodes are building up to something major and wonderful?
Yes, because I think it was just bringing back the characters, like Gendry was brought back and all that. So it was kind of like, oh, they're bringing back the characters. They're, developing the relationships more and all that. So I'm like, oh, great. That's good. That's a good thing. So we're like, okay, episode 3 is going to be amazing battle because they took so long to make this and all that. So we're like, yay! Then when it came on, it was like
what?
You can't even see it.
That's it.
And I'm like, I get it. They're trying to make it more natural with the lighting. We understand. I understand what they're trying to do. But if you cannot see it, you can't see it. There's so much stuff that went on. Like I had was who. Like especially the dragons.
True.
Was it Drogon that ripped up Viserys' jaw or something?
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was the other way around. I'm like, oh no, they lost.
It was confusing. Yeah.
I'm like, they should have at least turned that Viserys to like a ice dragon, so maybe make it glow or something like that, right?
Thank
so
you.
We know that's the ice dragon.
And this is I argued with multiple people. They were like, no, it looked better because it was dark. It was scarier. I was like, you know what? I get it. I watch plenty of horror movies. I watch plenty of movies. But don't make it dark to the point where you don't know what the fuck is going on. Because now what's the point? What's the point? What are you trying to make Pitch Black Part 4? Like, it's not funny. Like, I mean, shit. I really had to stand directly in front of the TV just to see which dragon was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference. At one point, I was like, hold up. Is this a White Walker or is this a good guy? Everything blended.
I was expecting more deaths in the 3rd episode. And at this point, it should have killed more people in episode 3.
Yeah, well, shit, Juanita, you said it best. You give us the biggest and scariest battle, which realistically everybody dies. Like, nobody can fight that type of shit. And the only people that die are, Jorah Mormont, the guy with the eye patch. Come on, everybody, give me somebody else. Give me somebody else.
Guy with the eye patch?
The little girl.
Forgot
her name.
Oh yeah, the heroic midget.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That just came back as a White Walker afterwards.
Yes. Oh, so sad when she died. But
it was.
She went out she went out.
Yeah.
Lyanna Mormont, yeah, she I was so sad. But I love Jorah, like from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I mean, he died the way he was supposed to die, which is protecting her.
Protecting the woman that he
Right.
loved.
Yeah.
Now let's be honest here. I wish Jorah was still alive to see what she turned into at the end. He probably would have said, "Oh, give me my life back." That shit just wasn't worth it.
He would still follow her nonetheless, even though we.
No, I don't. I have to disagree because as much as he loved her, he was still a man with common sense.
Oh no, he'll tell her, he'll try to guide her, but ultimately he'll still stand next to her.
True. I just think he's different. See, Grey Worm was a robot to me. He was more so like, my queen said everything must go. Blow out cell. I was like,
Well, he was broken because he lost Missandei.
yeah, you're right about that. You're right. But when he still chose to slaughter people who surrendered, he was following orders.
Yeah.
Instead of saying to himself, hey, these guys dropped their swords and they no longer want to fight. Let me not slit their throats.
Who was it that mentioned the Dothraki episode? Omar, yes, you are very correct.
With
The Dothraki, they had 10,000 Dothrakis. Pretty much every single one of them went to the battle against the White Walkers and all died. The next thing you know, in this episode, you see like
there were so many. I
50
thought
of
they were
them.
all gone.
You know what? I wanted to call so many people last night, but I said, no, Joe, just go to sleep. I knew I wasn't crazy. I'm glad you two brought it up again.
Yeah, I was lost about that. I was like, man, she just lost all the Dothraki this next episode. They over here just slaughtering. I'm like, wait.
Right. When you look at the battle against the White Walkers, right? The first in line were the Dothraki, right?
Mhm.
And you see them get wiped out. Some of them were able to run back, but that was probably a handful. Maybe 4 or 5 ran back with Jorah Mormont, where they were just like, "No, this is not our fight." So the last episode comes, and it's like they all just respawn. Like what happened? You lost 10,000, then you come back with 20,000. I'm like, okay, what type of is Daenerys? Is she a magician now?
It really didn't make any sense.
They said half of them went. I don't remember they saying half of when you had the Dothraki. I don't remember that part. But I know because I'm pretty sure they had 10,000 and all of them were there. Whereas all of them like actually went into that battle, we don't know, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't half of what they had.
Yeah.
But so what I did notice was that a lot of people were complaining throughout the episodes. So such as the ghost problem, the problem with ghosts, how Jon Snow didn't pet ghosts before he left and all that. So episode 6 is kind of like whatever the audience wanted, they kind of just put him back. Like the Dothraki came back and Ghost came back and he had to pet Ghost. Like
Right.
everybody wanted to watch it. Like how not pet? Hello, he lost an ear for you. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, since you guys are all asking about it, whatever, we have to put in the budget to make Ghost appear again and all that. It was just one of those things like, oh my god, you guys are horrible. Like, why are these writers? Because you guys no longer have a book to follow or something like that, which is why you create your own storyline.
Yeah. That's what happened. They got exposed. They no longer had material that they can borrow from and use to make themselves look better. So when you leave them on an island by themselves to write, this is what they give you. They have no help. They can't go towards the books to make a story great. I hope that I can't see these two idiots making anything go well with Star Wars.
Oh man, because that Star Wars is technically a new storyline as well, right?
Oh no, I get it, but at the same time, these writers are so bad. For some reason, I feel as though these airheads would take Smeagol from Lord of the Rings and make him a Jedi, and it's like this is how dumb they are. and they'll argue and they'll tell you, well, I didn't want anything to be predictable. Okay, well, you went off the books. They are really, really bad. The characters.
That would be
So
that would be the day you turn Smeagol into a Jedi.
right, you try to make Smeagol the new Yoda. Like, come on now, don't. They just, I don't know. I don't like. And this is personal. I don't like the way they wrote this last season. I don't. And I'm reading a comment right now. I'm so glad I was able to spot this one. John Charles Cordery, did I say it right? He says, Joe, you are just hating. How do I respond to this, Juanita? Do I respond angry or do I stay calm and just...
What?
What do I do? Do I stay calm? Do I respond angry? Because I'm in the...
I don't understand.
I'm in the mood. I have time.
Yeah. I don't understand. I understand. Understand.
Yeah.
Like I really don't.
Like Joe, you are just hating. Hating on what? What am I hating on? Because
Right.
it's not just me hating. Juanita didn't really like it. Jaime is the nicest person you will ever meet, and she was very disturbed. I called Drew last night, and Drew didn't want to hear it. He was just like, well, if the season started off shitty, what do you think is going to turn into gold? Like, it's just, no, the transition period can't happen that fast. So, John, I'm going to say this to you. Okay, so you're saying that seasons 5, 6, and 7 weren't following the books either. Okay, let's say they weren't. Those seasons were still amazing. Those seasons were amazing. Season 8 was rushed by choice because they wanted to get it out the way. And as far as you saying, okay, so you're saying my Star Wars remark is the only one that, okay, so I'm hating because, okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm going to be so direct with you. I feel as though they will destroy it. If they did that with 2 years worth of time and a crazy budget, I can't see these guys doing anything good with this Star Wars situation. I just don't. I don't see it. And that is me. I respect your opinion, John, but I'm telling you up front, no. No, like their resume is disgusting right now.
Yeah, they don't exactly have a good track record for us to have a different opinion about it.
Right. At this point, Juanita and Jaime, this is where you say, hey, show me better, and I'll believe you, right?
I don't know why they turned it down. They're right because HBO did offer them to finish 10 episodes. I'm pretty sure HBO is disappointed as well.
Of course
Because
they
the
are.
writing
HBO probably lost a ton of subscribers.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
No, they really did. You know, people were just like, to hell with this.
They definitely did. I mean, it just make no sense. Like they gave it a good 7 seasons, but why turn season 8 the way it did? Like it just didn't make sense. If you're as writers, don't you want your name to be like, oh man, we made the best series, TV series, and like the entire world, like, don't you want to have that under your resume or whatever?
Right,
I mean, like,
right. Hold up. Mr. Boykins, I'm sorry, you guys. I am reading what my eyes can see because my eyes are horrible. Mr. Boykins says, the space of 2 years of more made it worse. Right. You make everyone wait. You have 2 years worth of time and a crazy budget to give us the best that you can give us. And this is what you give us. And this goes back to what you're saying, Jaime. don't you want your name clean? I know you've done seasons before, and you know what? Kudos to you guys for giving us a few good seasons. You know, I respect you guys for that, and I appreciate it. But if this is how you end one of the biggest shows within television, that's not good. If you felt as though you were going to take it easy, take a break, or half-ass write this shit, you give it to someone else, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, might as well. Like, okay, we're not directing we're not gonna write and direct the last season. We won't give it to somebody else because we want to go and do Star Wars.
If anybody
That's
in
the
this
case.
chat has seen Dexter, so here's what happened with Game of Thrones. They watched the end of Dexter, and they said, "Oh, we can do that too," and they did it. And it's a clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Oh, we can do that too." That's what they did.
Talk about threw all of Jamie's character development out the window. Yes, we did. Yes,
Yeah.
we did. They just threw it right out the window.
Thank
Went
you.
back to Cersei. I thought he was going back to her to kill her, and he's
Right,
going
right,
back to her to be with her.
right. Juanita, me and Jamie had a whole conversation. We were like, we think Jamie's going to run back to King's Landing to secretly kill his sister because he won't have a choice. He chose to do some other shit. Whereas I'm looking like, damn, I feel bad for Bran and Stark. Like she just
So I'm gonna throw all my character development out the window in one episode.
right. It's like on the ride back to King's Landing. Like, hey, I don't need this character development anymore. Anybody want this
By the
shit?
way, let me just forget everything I did. One episode. Before that, he was cool.
Right.
He was
Exactly,
great.
Grizzly.
On the way up and everything.
Right.
Things would happen. He redeemed himself.
He was on the up and up. Like he was getting his life together. He had a good heart. You know,
he pushed out the window, looking at him like, whatever, it's cool.
right. Bran eventually said, man, you know what, man, you got me in this predicament, but I can forgive you. And Jamie started to become one of the good guys for sure.
He went through all this character development to throw it out in one episode. What was the point? What was the point?
This.
All right, if you want to talk about Danny and you know them dropping hints, she was gonna go batshit crazy. Okay, whatever. What about Jamie then? Then where was the hints that he was gonna throw his whole entire character out in one episode then? What?
Yeah.
What? Give me the gift of that white cat with the hands up like this.
You're
Like what?
what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Explain that.
And then this is the crazy part. So we all remember, I know we said it earlier during the stream, we remember Cersei asking Bronn to kill Jaime, right? Do we remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when Jaime comes to comfort Cersei while everything is falling around her, she says, "You're hurt. Oh, you care. You were about to have your brother/lover killed, and you're worried about him being hurt now? I guess because you know you're about to die." Like, I don't like the way that was written.
No.
It's like, I don't know, that's like me hiring Juanita to kill Jamie and Drew. They walk up to me bleeding. "Oh my gosh, you're hurt." Joe, you just wanted, you just wanted, like they did. Like, what, like, come on now.
Right. You gonna tell me she was like hormonal because of the baby? Please.
Yeah, I want to hear this shit.
That was dumb. And honestly, we don't even know if she really was pregnant. She just said a lot, like, oh, but remember her, was it Mila, no, it was the witch, right,
Mhm.
that told her that she was supposed to have 3 kids and all 3 dies, right?
Mhm.
How did she have this kid? I guess, but it's like, how is this kid not part of that, you know, oh, you might have a 4th child, but that dies too. So now it makes me wonder that was she really pregnant?
I think
Even though when she was dying, she was like, our baby, our child.
that allowed me to understand that she really was pregnant because she's about to die. She's feeling all type of emotions. It's over now. So I do believe she was pregnant because of the way she said it. I want my baby
But
boy.
is she supposed to be pregnant?
Good question.
Remember, like, because she's only supposed to have 3. So is she supposed to be pregnant? Like, are we supposed to like follow these like these witches and stuff, like Melisandre and whoever that was telling Cersei? Was it Melisandre Cersei that she was only going to have 3 kids?
No, that wasn't Melisandre.
It was another witch, right?
That was a witch that Cersei came across when she was very, very young.
Right. Okay, right. So exactly, right. So she's supposed to have 3.
And they all died. They did. They all
Then
died.
they all died. So why was she having another child? Like she shouldn't even have a child even in her stomach. So technically she was pregnant with a baby.
True.
So it was kind of like I don't know. A lot of those things is just kind of like what? Wait, what?
The weird thing about Game of Thrones now is you can come up with the craziest idea and it'll still be better than the finale. Like
it would.
You can have Jaffa come back as a zombie, fight people,
Yep,
and then become king, and that'll still be better than the ending.
Yep.
Anything you come up with is better.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was going to rewrite it myself, and Bruce Willis was going to sit on the Iron Throne. Like,
And even that would be better.
how bad is that? That's not that bad to
Put
me.
anybody on the throne, it'd be better. You can put the ancient one. You can put
Right, I'll take that.
you can put Thanos on it. You can whatever.
You just can't. It's a shame to say, but when season 8 first came back on TV, HBO was on Instagram saying, "Hey, what's up? Do you want this package or not? Do you want this HBO package on your television to watch Game of Thrones? This is a must see." The first episode airs, and you're just like, "Man, this is pretty slow," but I know what's about to happen for these next 5 episodes. Episode 2 comes, you're like, okay, and the big battle between them and the White Walkers happens. You're like, damn, just like that, the White Walkers are gone, which to me was a problem. I don't know if that was a problem to the rest of you guys, but Game of Thrones has been, telling everyone about the White Walkers since season 1. So now season 8 is here, and just like that, the White Walkers are gone. Because Arya Stark stabs one of the White Walkers in the rib, and they all just shatter.
You got all this build up with no payoff. That's Game of Thrones season 8. All build up, no payoff. You build up the king this whole time. He said he looked like a beast.
Right.
She one shots him. What?
It is.
What? I'm telling you, bring Javi back, have him do the running man for the whole episode, and then boom.
Respect your king.
Yeah,
respect your king. Respect your king. Respect your king.
Back y'all, and then that's better than the ending.
I just didn't understand that Bran being in Godswood and Theon saying that, yeah, we'll protect you. But the White Walkers are afraid of fire and all that. Why didn't they, put a trench around them or build something or some kind of barrier?
I was asking that the whole time. I was like, they knew
And
how to
they're
defeat them, and they weren't even prepared.
And like they only have a certain amount of people. Let's say 20, right? 20 against all these White Walkers. Like how are you don't have any fire weapons or of anything prepared, because especially knowing that the Night King is coming for him. Like it's one of those things. No, it's one of those things. Like what? Like, oh my god!
You're called the Night King. You got dope names and everything. You're supposed to be a beast. You the Night King. He looked like a beast. He got one shotted. He ain't gonna last 2 episodes.
Yep.
You're the Night King. What?
The
argument cheat code? Like, how the hell did that happen?
So Lizzie Hayward says the Night King was fireproof, though. We get it. No. No, we honestly get it. That's not the problem. It's what Drew said. There was no payoff. The Night King went out in a way that he could have just went out in seasons 3. If all it took was a jab stab,
you build him up this whole show.
Right.
This whole show. Like, They gave him the Thanos intro. He's like, I do it myself.
Right.
He over there walking like, I'm gonna fuck everybody up. You got one shot. You walk 8 seasons to fight him and you got one shot. Like, what was the point?
What was the point? And I would like. I want to pay attention to the chat, and I want to ask you guys personally, without me sounding like some bossy asshole. Were you guys okay with how the Night King went out? And I want a yes or no. I want to hear honest opinions because your opinion matters too. Juanita, Jamie, start off with you guys. Juanita, how did you feel about the Night King going out just like that?
I am okay with it being Arya. I'm not okay about how it went.
Okay.
Like, for me, like, everyone wanted a Jon fight,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they really wanted, and so I can see them going with someone else. And I like Arya. I think she had great character development up till the last episode, but they built up so much to make him so weak.
Hell no.
And that's like what they're doing to everyone. They built up so many characters to make them so weak
Right.
at the end, and it's like so disappointing.
You got him looking off at the distance for seasons. Like,
Well,
I'm gonna fuck all this shit up.
I have a bunch of no's. I saw one hell yes.
That's like Lord of the Rings. They go on the journey. They finally get there and get wiped out in 2 seconds.
Which is a
You
problem.
got three movies where they got the ring. They're going through all the trials and tribulations. Okay, we're finally there. Let me throw the ring in the thing, and then a stunt double kick flips him, and he dies. That's the equivalent.
I see fire.
That's the equivalent. So, in Return of the King, he finally gets to Mordor. He's like, all right, the ring. He gets kick flipped. And then he just dies midair before he even lands. And then that's it. Then credits.
And you're supposed to be okay with that.
Like, nah, man. You all this build up, there's gotta be payoff. There's gotta be something. You can't build up the Night King. You're the Night King.
They turned the Night King into the Night's bitch.
And then you just get one shot. Like, come on, man. Like, what? Come on, man.
And I had
Discount. Look it up. Discount. Look it up. Discount.
Thank you.
Look it up. Discount. Look it up. Exactly. Discount. Look it up. You go to New York and try to get a cab. That's longer than the Night King lasted.
Shit. You have so one of my friends from work, he said that Joe, no matter how you look at it, no one was going to be happy with the way that the show
Bullshit.
ended.
No, I don't want to hear that. That's a cop out.
It's a cop out.
That's a cop out. Obviously, in Game of Thrones, people are going to be upset about things, but unanimously, people hate it. Like, come on now. Okay, yeah, we don't expect a happy ending in Game of Thrones. Nobody does. Anybody that watches the show or read the books, you know there's not going to be a happy ending, but you can't fuck every character up. Like, if it happened like the way it's supposed to happen, if characters kept their, they kept what was built all these seasons and went out like, they're supposed to go out, even go out unfairly, then okay, that's cool. But you can't have Jaime say, all right, well, I did all this stuff, I redeemed myself, fuck all of that, let me forget it, and just, Cersei, like that.
Right.
What?
Cersei. Oh, shit.
Cersei. No.
She like what?
No.
I'm sorry. I need to write this shit down again. Cersei, they destroyed her character. Jon Snow, his character had been just destroyed. Bran didn't really become the Bran that I wanted Bran to become, because I'm looking like, hold up, season 8, Bran is going to be this ultra wizard where he takes over shit and just ends everything because he's powerful.
He's supposed to be Doctor Strange.
Whereas this is Bran the whole season 8.
Is my time in? Is my line? Huh?
Theon, you're a good man.
Huh? What?
He just sits there.
Hello?
You take away from Jaime because of the way that you write his character off. You take away from him. Brienne, she did her thing against the White Walkers in a major battle, but after that, she's gone. She's just gone for the rest of the season. You give.
Then she writes his story.
Yeah, she wrote very well about Jaime Lannister. Whereas I would have been like, man, fuck him.
Right. Honestly, I thought she was gonna say that she was pregnant at the end. That didn't happen.
I would have passed out.
No, Give me a spinoff about the Starbucks cup. That'd be way more interesting than this damn season. Yeah. Like, oh, he's back. He's doing the thing. He's the king now. Like, give me a show about him.
Right.
Forget this season, yo.
Viking Gaming, thank you for that donation.
I didn't like how Theon died either.
You did?
Like, you're trying to come against. Like, why did you run towards him?
Discount.
Like, I didn't understand why he ran towards the Night King versus still standing there protecting Bran. You should have waited till he comes and somehow try to protect him, not going against somebody with a spear that you know is not pretty much is gonna kill you.
You're right. It's like he ran to the edge of the cliff knowing there was nothing.
You should stall as much time as you can, not just go in and die and just like, all right. And then right after he dies is when Bran comes back, right? Isn't that when it happens?
Yeah.
Or Bran comes back right before he dies.
Right. So.
Oh right, Bran comes back right before he dies and say you're a good man.
So when he tells Theon, "You're a good man," that gives Theon the energy to run full force towards the Night King.
Right, and then just die with it. I thought I agree with Juanita that I didn't mind that it was Arya that killed him because she, her thing was that she's supposed to shut the blue eyes, right?
Yeah.
That I can understand, but it was the way they did it. How they didn't show how she's snuck up between how she came out of nowhere. It's not like she just ran and next thing.
Ran past all the generals and everything. Had this been any other season, there would have been a build up to that. They would have shown that,
that she's coming here somehow. Or maybe she even I don't know, get herself a White Walker outfit or something.
Hold on. Phobobia said, "How did she solid snake past all the soldiers?"
Instead of a carpet
Right. Vikings.
Right, rolling past.
Yo, Phobobia. Yo, I just thought about that. How, there were how many White Walkers around the Night King? I don't care if she...
All the generals,
all the generals were around him.
Right, so I don't understand how, did she wear the face of a White Walker and just...
Yeah.
Did she do that? Because other than that, they could have at least, if she jumped out of a tower, they could have showed her jump from the roof directly onto the Night King. But you can't do that because they were all trees. I just don't know how they...
You know what? And I understand there weren't that many episodes. This whole problem could have been solved with more episodes. You should have took the money and extended it. Now, okay, if there are limited episodes, you don't waste the first few episodes with just talking. If you know you got a limited amount of episodes to tell the final season, you got half a dozen episodes of just they just sitting there talking. Yeah, it's a good day. Oh, yeah, it's great. Yeah, be chilling. They comfortable. Okay, open the season out like that, but then get right to it.
Right.
Everyone talking, and then you rush the battles and all that to the point where you just throw everything out. I told you they got ideas put on a dartboard. They threw darts. So all right, we can piece that together with that. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Fuck it.
They picked ideas out of a hat.
Let's move on to Star Wars. No.
He ain't lying. I mean, you have 6 episodes to give us everything possible. Now, I'm not saying that every 3 minutes in each episode you have to show me somebody's head getting chopped off. No, I'm not saying that. But you can only have but so many conversations with 6 episodes. You need to give us what we have been waiting for 8 seasons. And that's the biggest problem. We have really been waiting 8 seasons for certain things to happen. The big White Walker battle. Arya finally being able to face Cersei didn't happen. Daenerys facing Cersei didn't happen. Jon Snow being this almighty person at the end didn't happen. I think they took away more than what they gave. And you just don't do that. When you make people wait, you have to understand people are going to expect a certain amount because
expectations.
Right. It's like we gave you 2 years.
We need payoff.
To give us payoff, and you don't do it.
No payoff.
Grizzly. They did go dragon riding, didn't they?
Just
with the budget that they have, yeah, I agree with Grizzly.
They said make it happen.
Make it happen.
You don't fumble the ball and you
took John and Danny
had all the money you
riding. They should have took more time with Ghost.
You could tell they didn't give a fuck because of the Starbucks cup.
Right.
Bars.
Russian.
Like, I mean, come on. You got all the money in the world. Did you want to overlook a damn? Come on,
Here
son.
we go. Okay, so Jean says John's bloodline didn't mean a damn thing in the end. He went back to the Night Watch. Right. So you allow you tell us that Jon is a Targaryen. This is what I wanted. You guys don't have to agree with me. I really wanted Daenerys to try to burn Jon, and Jon just stands there like what's up? Like I'm you. I'm a Targaryen. Like I wanted his Targaryenness to be put to the test, if that makes sense. Like don't tell me Jon is a Targaryen, and the whole season he's just like, she's my queen. And then he goes back to the Night Watch. Like you could have. It didn't matter. He's a Targaryen for what? He was the weakest Targaryen I've ever seen.
All that for nothing.
Nothing.
They drop all these hints, like, and it's all these hints that it's supposed to be building up to something, and nothing. Like, okay, that's like you going up a roller coaster. Like, okay, any minute now, and as soon as you get to the top, all right, get off.
The roller coaster goes back down.
Like, no, it doesn't even go back down. It goes up, and at the top, you get off. That's what it is. It's a roller coaster going up slowly for 6 episodes, and at the top, okay, next.
Wait,
get out now.
Wait, what?
Where's the ride at? Where? There's no payoff.
You just I have a question. When Jon kills Daenerys, right? If I am not mistaken, it was just Jon and Daenerys in that room. So when he stabbed her through the heart and she fell, the only person that came up and had a sense of what happened was Drogon.
Mm-hmm.
So Drogon knew what happened. He looked at Jon like, yo, like, I know I can't burn you, but damn, nigga, like this? He grabbed...
I like that he burned the Iron Throne.
Right, he burnt it. He said, well, shit, if my mom can't have it, nigga, you ain't having it. Nobody's going to have it. I understood. And I liked it because the dragon was like, fucking, my mom worked for this. Nobody gets it. She's dead now. But he takes her body and he flies off with it. And then the transition scene where Jon is now a prisoner, I'm just like, what the fuck? Did Jon tell on himself?
Right.
Maybe he did because he was such a...
He
felt so much remorse. He probably would. But then they just like I sat there. I'm like, they're gonna do the stupid 10 years later thing.
Oh.
Sure enough, they flash forward like a couple of weeks. Everyone has beards. Okay, now let's decide who's king. Like, why are you rushing that last episode?
They said I'm playing dice. What are we gonna do? All right, now you can't. Let's do this.
And even if they didn't want to have, okay, so you don't want to extend the season. You don't want more episodes. If HBO is offering you The House, I know it sounds like a lot because it's not an actual movie, but make this last episode longer than what you did. That way you can have a final battle. That way Grey Worm and Jon, I wanted to see them fight because come on now, these two were at odds for 2 episodes straight. Where they had this major face-off, like, who are you looking at? Like, what are you going to do? Nothing. The last episode didn't have an ounce of fight.
Nope. No one fought.
No one fought.
It was the most pointless finale in history. And people...
Well, I didn't expect them to fight, like, really fight at the last episode. Episode 3 and episode 5 should have been the ones where they were fighting. Episode 6 is supposed to tie up the whole story. Because there's so many characters, and I'd rather they tie up the story than to fight each other.
True.
Because they already did it in episode 3 and 5. Except episode 5 wasn't really about fighting. It was just about people dying from just, her just burning the whole King's Landing.
Oh, she.
But they did a better job on episode 5. And episode 6 would have been okay. Like, it would have been fine. The way it ended. But, I mean, the way it ended as in just storytelling versus like, this person, continue fighting with this person or whatever.
Right.
They didn't need all that. It's just, they just did a horrible job on episode 5.
They did a horrible job on season 8, period. I mean, even when, so at the end of season 7, you guys remember when Jon and the rest of the crew, they bought an actual White Walker in front of Cersei just to show her what the bigger threat was.
Right.
Now, they could have just not had that. Like, what was the point? Because Cersei didn't have to encounter one White Walker in this season. So it's not like I just think something else should have happened. Like, Cersei didn't. She chose not to help. She chose not to help in the big fight against the White Walkers after she was already shown an example of what they were. That scene, like, that bothers me. Don't show me that you showed Cersei an example of what a White Walker is, and then in season 8, you just get rid of that whole scene. Now, to you guys, it may not mean shit, but I'm looking like, okay, Cersei should have to come across at least one White Walker, like something. Other than that, it was just pointless. Like, certain things were pointless to even show. Jon being a Targaryen, don't tell me about it.
If you're not gonna do anything with it, then
right,
they did nothing with it. So why the reveal?
And what happened at the end of season 7? Also, the evil dragon destroyed the wall, right? Juanita.
And the wall was back.
Yeah, the wall. Right. We watched this dragon. He breathed, like he blew it down. And last night's episode, the wall was rebuilt and repaired and polished and shit. I said shit.
There's too many issues.
Even if that wasn't the same wall, it was. I didn't see anything broken. Like, everything was still intact. Ugh, gosh.
It's a mess. Told you they gave it the Dexter treatment.
The Dexter treatment, the lost final season.
The pacing was so wrong.
Right. If you just give me the black text, the black background with text instead of fucking up the whole ending.
Right. Like,
just give me that shit.
Just give me that.
If you're not gonna put any effort into it, then just give me the text. If that's the case, just they never made it home. Just give me that shit. Then.
Just give me that and let it be that.
Like don't just say fuck it.
Jamie,
Last
you there?
episode of Dexter, they said fuck it.
Jamie. Did Jamie pass out?
She might have.
Jamie. You still there, Juanita?
Yeah, I'm here.
I guess Jamie passed out.
Yeah. Jamie? Yeah, she's gone.
Jamie.
Talk tired her out.
Hope she didn't pass out. It's kind of scary.
Sorry, I'm here. I was brushing my teeth.
You scared the. I was about to call you like, hey.
I'm here. I'm alive.
I was about to say, hey, did the writers get you too? Like, damn.
No. Okay, what were you guys talking about?
We were just talking about how the
pacing being wrong.
Pacing was wrong.
So what I was mentioning on the previous stream when we were streaming about Game of Thrones as well, I mentioned that the Golden Company is complete crap.
Oh my gosh, what?
The whole entire company that they hired was complete crap.
Right.
They hired these, how many people? 10,000. It's like 10,000, or a really large army that they hired. And then the leader. Did you see how the leader went out?
Yeah, the leader ran. The leader ran. Like, you pay all this money. You pay all of this money for these guys. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I see a big-ass dragon, I don't care how much you paid me. I'm the fuck out. I get it. But they were absolutely... They were useless.
Right, it is, but it's the point of them hiring these. That's why you can see how rushed it was, because they should have had some scene where they were fighting, right? We had absolutely none of them were fighting. Standing there, next thing you know, they all got roasted.
Right.
And then the leader of it just like pretty much ran, and then he just let Dothraki kill him, right?
Jamie,
I think it was like Dothraki.
Jamie,
but I was like completely pointless. Like it was kind of like, why were they even there?
Right, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie.
They didn't need to look. The castle itself can hold up, like Grey Worm and stuff, because that's pretty much what it was. You see Grey Worm's army, and then you see the castle.
Right.
The Golden Company didn't even need to be there, because they were literally just standing there the whole time.
Right,
Like it was
and I like what you just, Jamie. I like what you just said. Like we get it. The writer probably said, "Hey, look, these guys see a dragon and they already know they're going to lose." Like we get that. Nobody is overlooking that. That dragon is powerful. Nobody is going to fight face to face with the dragon. But if you are going to show these guys, at least let these guys have 10 seconds of showing how skilled they are. Like give them some, like don't show us these guys just to show them running away.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't even show anything. They even showed like Lannister trying to fight, but they have not shown any of the Golden Company do like one single battle. And there you see their armor. They're like they paid all this money to get these guys wear these armors or whatever, but they didn't do anything.
Nothing.
Like it was just one of those things. It's like what?
Right. So I have a so I create so I am writing the final episode of my series, like whatever you want to call it. I have my special guest Juanita and Jamie. I show Juanita and Jamie for about 10 seconds. They're like major characters everyone has been waiting to see. I paid a lot of money for them in the show, and they just run away.
Discount. Look it up.
It's bad. That's how bad it sounds.
Discount. Look it up. Discount.
Sykes, thank you for that $10 donation. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, Sykes.
You like this is you just don't give us a taste of what could appear inside of an episode and you don't utilize it. It makes it worse. Yes, I do believe they rushed it. I do believe it was poor writing. They put no energy into it, and that's the truth. And I mean, like this petition is real. People signed this petition because they felt the same way that we feel right now. So it's not just Jamie, Juanita, Joe, and Drew bashing the show because we can't get over our personal feelings. No, this is a lot of people. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, funny. It's this season it's just the ending of the whole season. Such a disappointment. I'm just so like over it. It's like episode 3. Well, episode 3, like I actually enjoyed some of the scenes that I could see
Mm-hmm.
about how they were battling and all that, and how creepy they were looking. Oh my god, that did really scared me. I was like, oh my god, they look really creepy. I enjoyed how they did the little boy. What's his name? The one that they put him against the wall and they cut off all the legs and arms, and they remember, you know what I'm talking about? The little boy that they that was in the East Watch, near the East Watch, before they walked through, and then they found the little boy that was supposed to go home and get his troops.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
What's his name? What oh my god, the Karstarks? No, not the Karstarks. The other family. The Umbers. Yes, exactly. The
Umbers.
Umber boy. They call him the Umber boy, and that creeped me out because it's like it kind of reminds you of one, right? How they did the first episode, how they did that. So I enjoyed that part. I was like, wow, they did that. Like that actually kind of brings you back to memory lane, the first episode. But like after that, it was like, okay, so it had something going. So I'm really looking forward to what was going to happen next. Then you see the episode 3, like the fighting, where you barely can see, and then episode 4, 5, and 6 was just like, okay, all right, whatever.
I couldn't. I tried. Like I really tried.
Now, what do you feel? Okay, if were you do you two feel like Bran should be the king?
No.
Like even
Right, Ace. That should have been the last
okay,
episode.
so if you feel like he shouldn't be king, then who should be king or queen?
Well, for me, this may sound selfish and cliche. I wanted Jon to end up on the throne, whether he wanted it the whole show or not. It just seemed right.
Because he's the rightful heir, like he's Aegon Targaryen.
Yeah, he's a Targaryen. He was, a very well. He was a great fighter, and the buildup was there. And yes, it would have been predictable for John to take over, but it seemed to me, it seemed right.
Okay, Juanita, what do you think?
Honestly, with how they started to how his character was this season, I didn't want John because it was just like, but she's my queen, she's my queen.
Right.
Should I
Yes.
have killed her? She's my queen. So I didn't really like care for him to be the king. Honestly, I was expecting the Seven Kingdoms to split when they were gonna decide there in that moment.
Right, and even Ace,
Oh,
but Ace just said something. Ace said John's storyline was stronger than Bran's. So Juanita, even with you, don't get me wrong, Juanita, I was very upset with John turning into a total punk. But
He turned into a total. It was like, who are you?
right, do you know what John was this season? John was a walking version of Bran. That's all he was. He did absolutely nothing. And it's a shame because you watch 7 seasons of Jon Snow doing this, doing that, becoming this, becoming that. And in season 8, he's what Juanita hates.
Yep. Especially after Sansa was like, the North is gonna stay separate. I was expecting everyone to like, well, we'll stay separate too. Like
Right.
I don't know.
okay. I see what you mean. I,
And how about that? Like Sansa really just
Sansa just got what she wanted.
I knew she wasn't gonna say yes to Bran being king.
Yes, yes, I agree. She wasn't. She was. I thought she was gonna say, "I want to be queen." I didn't think she was just like, "All right, I just want the North and that's it." Like, have everything else.
yeah, I really did. I thought that she would give a stronger speech saying, "Hey, let me rule." She just wanted the North.
Hmm.
And at the
But
end, like when you watch the end of the episode, it's like the Starks won. No matter how you look at it, each Stark character that was left won. Bran became
Hmm.
king. Sansa became queen of the North. John, I mean, I wouldn't call this a win, but John walked off with the wildlings, which, if you ask me, he just loves being around them.
he's pretty much their king.
Yeah,
Technically, they all follow
he's the
him.
okay, kitty, okay, kitty cat.
But what they call him the not the what do they call people besides wildlings? Didn't they have a name, another name for?
A bastard.
No, 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 okay. Anyway, like yeah. So pretty much he became their leader, I guess. But I think it was a smart idea for him to leave the cast the Night's Watch, which makes a lot of sense
hmm
because he's what is he doing there? He's been there, done that.
Oh God, Ace. Ace is.
It's stop it.
Ace, Ace, you have problems. I'm not.
That's Tor.
I'm not dealing with Ace shit tonight.
Tor was so nasty when he said that
Yeah,
too.
he
He's
was
like,
horrible.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Brienne, after hearing what you said, she didn't know. She just lost all respect for you.
Brienne was just like, ugh.
Ugh. At first, I was like, oh, that's so cute. He's after her and thing, and then next thing you know, he said all that. I was like, oh.
It's just so. Not only was that, I mean, at the end of the show, like Arya Stark becomes Christopher Columbus and shit, and
Right.
we're just like, okay, you. So because your list was pointless at the end, you want to go on vacation. You want to go on the ultimate cruise and visit here and visit there. Like, I don't
See,
know.
I would if she said, "Oh, I want to for Nymeria," something like that. Like that would be like make sense. But I'm like, she wants to go west of Westeros. Like, why?
Well, you know
We're gonna
what?
do that.
Let her go west. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sorry.
Like everybody had a like Grey Worm north, right?
Yeah.
And the sun and whatever. But it's like, Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. So apparently, in Narth, I think they said by the books or something like that. They said people that are not from there, when they leave, they get sick and die.
Huh?
Yeah, apparently it's something there. When they leave, they get sick and die unless you're from there.
So hold up.
So in the books, it says something like that.
If you visit Narth, you go there to die, or is it that when you
when you leave there, you get sick.
damn?
I guess it's like whatever it is that's over there. Apparently, that's what it might have said in the books. Because I was talking to somebody, and somebody said they read it or something. Like, okay, so are you telling me that everybody, all Grey Worm,
Yeah, all the Unsullied are gonna die.
yeah, all the
Or they're
Unsullied
trapped
die.
there.
And is the Dothraki still in King's Landing, and are they staying there? Like, what is they know their own little city again? Like, nobody they were only listening to Daenerys.
Oh,
They didn't have a king or queen besides her.
hold up. I
Now
forgot.
that she left, they don't have to listen to anybody else.
Hold up. I didn't even realize that when Grey Worm left to go to what's it called, Nath.
Yeah.
North, yeah.
He took the Unsullied, not the Dothraki, right?
Yeah.
They weren't there. None of them were on the ship.
So the Dothraki. Okay, so
They went home, but now they don't have anybody to rule. They do not have the
right. So now they're just running around making
go
that.
back to they're gonna go back to doing what they were doing before.
Right. So now they're just looking for someone to do that noise with. What's that noise that they do? The Xena warrior princess noise. No. It's all they want to do. They need a reason to do that again. Like Drogon should just fly past the sky so they can do that chant one more time. Like, look, there's something for us.
Yeah, and the whole the very last scene of Bran was like, oh, I think I can find him. What are you looking for Drogon for?
Right. Like, does he
control him? Are you gonna
Oh
bring him
yeah,
back?
what was the purpose of that?
Exactly. That was his ending. His ending was like, maybe I can find him. That was it. Like, huh?
Why do you want to find Drogon? Leave Drogon
Why?
alone.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, you want to
Are
find.
you telling me you can control him? Are you gonna warg into him? Like that's if he Bran is so powerful.
I don't think Drogon's a threat at all.
But I was about before that had been written, right before somebody wrote that, I was going to say, okay, maybe Bran wants to find a dragon, control him, so he doesn't come back and retaliate, But like, how about I would like, maybe I wanted Bran to actually say that. Maybe I wanted him to say, "Don't worry, I'll control him, so he won't come back and burn us down." Like, maybe the show disappointed me so much that I'm going to complain about any and everything that they did.
I honestly don't think Drogon's a threat.
He's not. I wish they would have showed him though, like where he took Daenerys and something like that, and somehow buried her. Like or did whatever, did something.
That was the only touching moment in that whole episode, I thought.
Man, that shit was sad.
Yeah.
That shit was sad because that dragon was like.
It was sad.
He was like,
It was
"Hey,
sad.
Mom."
He was like smelling her and pushing her. Like that almost made me tear up. It almost did.
Shit, it made me tear up because I looked at Drogon like a dog. And he's just like, get up. Then he looks at Jon. He's like, I can't believe you. All you did all season was cry, mope around, and you're the one that kills her? No, you're not worthy. So let me burn down this chair in front of you.
That was the only part of the episode that I liked.
Right. So I guess the dragon was the MVP of this season. I'll tell you that much. The dragon and the wolf. Hold up. Did Arya's wolf die? Or is her wolf still out in the wild?
No, she's out in the wild.
Oh.
Which is why I thought for her or something, like maybe that was her goal. Or go back to where she was and try to look for Nymeria or something like that, That was her doll. That was her wolf. I don't know. They could have explained things better. They could have done the whole season a lot better. It's so disturbing to me. Like, we waited 2 years, practically 2 years for like the big finale, and they gave us this. Like, that's why so many people signed that petition. Like, remake the whole season.
Right. They want everything made over. They want everything made over. Let's see, John. Okay, John Charles says it's a dragon. It's a threat to every living person. It eats whatever it wants. True, it is. It's a threat. It can't like it only listens to Drogon only listens to Daenerys. So you're right. So it is a threat to everyone. It can come back at any time and do what the hell it wants. But
But they were just feeding it animals, like like they were just feeding the Jogan animals. Oh yeah, so he can eat whatever he wants.
well, yeah, I guess they fed him animals at the moment to keep him tamed and to. But you know, if Drogon gets angry enough or hungry enough, he's coming back for everybody.
Well, you know, whose fault is that?
Right.
Ah, God, Chris, this.
Yeah, I think so. When everyone woke up this morning, it was one of those mornings that just, that just slowed you down. It was hard to wake up because you're just thinking to yourself, I wasted an hour and 30 minutes of my life the night prior. And I want to go back to what made me want to do this stream tonight. Overall, I think everyone needs to vent. You have people who are saying they enjoyed the episode. What more did you want these guys to do? You won't be happy either way. And then you have us, the people who are just like, no, like you don't end it like this. We're okay with being upset with how you end it, but there's a certain way that you end it. Like we get it. We're not going to be happy regardless. You're going to kill somebody that we want to survive. You're gonna make somebody king that we don't want to be king. That's different. This episode was it was poor. It was bad. For us to be like, hey, this is the end. We're never, it's the end of a long running show. Nothing had been it just didn't go as planned. I'm sorry.
I was actually kind of shocked that Bran said he'll take the ticket.
Oh,
I was expecting him to say like, no, I remember what I told you, Raven, but the three-eyed Raven. But then all of a sudden, like, oh well, yeah, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
What?
Like after you said no.
He was like Doctor Strange. He was like, why do you think I travel all this way? Like,
Omer, thank you.
Exactly. Wait, but you just said you can't be it. Like, I what?
And then he tells Jon, he's like, no worries, you were where you were supposed to be.
Right, exactly. Oh, okay. So you wanted to be king then?
The whole time.
That was the whole time.
Oh my god, that's just kind of like wow. Okay. And then even Tyrion at the end was like happy. I think he was right.
Tyrion,
like no one can be happy. He literally said that. Now that Bran, it was pretty much like Bran became king. No one can be happy.
Right, nobody. It's just.
I think he meant to talk to us. Like none of the viewers can be happy now.
You know what? Without.
However, Bran would be the one that is probably the one that's fair. Fair when I say fair, as in like nobody has anything against him.
True.
He has nothing against anybody. And plus since he's the three-eyed Raven, see, in a way, I forgot who I was talking to. In a way, he can actually blackmail anybody. It's like, I know what you did. 2 nights ago.
True. Because it was the same. It was like it was the way that he looked at Jaime Lannister early on in the season, and he knew he knew that he could tell everybody, "Hey, this is the guy that pushed me out and caused me to be this way." So it's like, yeah, do you really want to piss Bran off to the point where he can tell your deepest, darkest secret?
So I feel like, even though like whatever, like I didn't really have hope for like who wants to be queen or king. Like after watching Jon, like Juanita said, I just couldn't see Jon being king. And okay, the Daenerys being a mad queen now, like, after what she did, like it's hard to say like she can be queen because she would just go to everywhere and like do the same thing.
And that's why Jon killed her. And I get it. Now that is something that the writers did very well. allowing us to understand why Jon finally drove the dagger through her heart. Jon was like, I'm trying to talk her out of it. She's still talking about killing everything in her path, cleansing the earth. She was what Thanos was. She thought it was her way or the highway. She felt as though her way was best. So Jon said, you know what? I can't allow this shit. And he kills her.
Right. But then he still questioned, like, did I do the right thing?
Right, and that made me so mad. I think Juanita mentioned that earlier. He's like, so, was I wrong? Should I have done it? And I'm just looking like, shut up, Jon, shut up. You just heard. She even threatened your sisters. So, let's not do that.
Well, they loved each other nonetheless, whatever. It's a love story. love hate story.
It was, before I leave, because I'm about to go home and get ready to get up early in the morning, I'm going to say this. It hurts the most thinking about watching 7 wonderful seasons. It hurts. I watched 7 spectacular seasons of Game of Thrones. I really did think that season 8 would be the best thing besides the Avengers films to watch on, to watch for entertainment. But it did not live up to the hype in my eyes. I didn't see anything that I wanted to see happen besides the White Walker battle, which, to me was good, but nothing happened in the order I wanted it to. I cannot sit back and tell my kids one day, hey, this show that I used to watch ended very well. You can't. Like, I'm sorry. I can't see anybody saying that. I can't agree with you. For anyone who likes the way that this show ended, I will not agree with you. I respect your opinion, but respect mine also. No. Bad season.
There were people that actually liked episode 4 and 5, and I'm like, really?
What?
Watching the same show?
Yeah, exactly.
No, there were people who actually thought the whole season was remarkable, and I'm just looking like, oh my gosh, what happened? What did I miss?
Yeah.
Been paying attention? Or you been watching this? Seriously, are you watching this? Are we watching this show? You're telling me that's a good episode 4 and 5 were good,
right?
Especially episode 5,
right? And I'm looking like, hold up, do you have a different version of HBO? Like, did they show you something that my shit didn't show? Like, was Drogon green on your HBO channel? Like what was different? Gosh.
But like that's like I said, that was the best they can do. They brought back Ghost because of the viewers, not because they already had him. We know that it's because of everybody was saying like, why didn't you pet Ghost? Why did you do this? So they decided to brought back Ghost. They decided, bring back the Dothrakis, and everybody was like, where the heck did Dothrakis go? Whatever. So it's like they only did this because of the view.
True.
But otherwise, if nobody's saying they Ghost would, that's it. Yeah. They wouldn't probably see it. That's not it. They wouldn't. But
So I would like everyone to write their score out of 10. Right now, I'm going to ask Jaime and Juanita what their scores is out of 10, and I want you guys to tell me out of 10 what your score is for this season. Jaime, what's your score out of 10?
So episode 1. So how many episodes? There's 6 episodes, right? Mm-hmm. Episode 1 I liked. Episode 2 I liked. 3 is so I give that. Let's see. Right, that's it's 4 points, and then episode 5 I give it a point. So I give it a 5 out of 10.
You give it a 5 out of 10?
Yeah, because of episode 1 and 2 and part of 3, and then whatever they already ended in episode 5. For what it's worth, they tried, even though they lack of commitment, lack of really understanding the viewers,
Mm-hmm.
but they tried whatever at the last episode. So I liked episode 2, and so I would give it a 5. That's it, nothing more.
5.
Yeah,
How about you, Wanda and Netta?
Wanda Netta.
I, man,
Go ahead. You can be brutal. You can be brutal.
yeah, I feel like 5 is generous. It really is. Like this is a series that lasted for so long, and they ended it the way that they did. They just rushed through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jamie said, I liked episode 1 and 2. I liked parts of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I literally can maybe just count on like one hand parts that I liked of like the the last 3 episodes. Like Tyrion's moment with Jamie
Yeah,
and
that's how I was calculating. I was like 1.5
yeah.
for episode 1, 1.5 for episode 2, a 1 for 3, so that's 4 points, and then I give it a 1 for the last episode. That's how I got 5.
Ugh.
I would give it like a 4.5 for this season,
4.5. Okay,
honestly. But
that's
it,
fine.
they can't turn it back. That's it. They've ruined this show by rushing this season.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, for you guys asking questions on the chat, I was asking everyone to give their final score on this season. One out, out of 10. Um, so for me, you guys can call me an asshole, say that my score is unrealistic, but for this to be the series finale, not the season finale, for this to be the end of Game of Thrones, for it to have to end like this, for us to have to live on with knowing this is how our favorite show, one of our favorite shows, has to end, I am going to give this a 3. And the only reason why this show gets a 3 from me is because the music was phenomenal. The wolves looked great. And the dragons look spectacular. And you know what? Parts of that 3, I'm gonna dig deep and say the acting was still phenomenal. But other than that, I'm not gonna go higher than 3. I'm not going higher than the 3. The writers
That is true.
the writers just said to hell with it.
It wasn't the actors and actresses. They were phenomenal.
Amazing.
It was just the writers and the writers slash directors, because they did both.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but the actors, and they did really well. Like Daenerys, when she was that draft to burn down the whole city, you see her expression.
Right.
That was something, like, you can see how much like hate that she had that was built up in her, and like, and then when she walked away with Miss, like, she was just like angry. You can see all that. Like, she was great. Like, it's just the writers just did a horrible job.
Right. So kudos to the actors. I would like to say thank you to each individual actor within the show, for putting their blood, sweat, and tears into the script. So, and even though the 2 writers pissed me off this season, I will honestly say thank you for the other seasons that they gave us that were actually pretty good. But hey, certain moviegoers and certain TV show watchers say the same thing as me. If you end it bad, I just say everything is bad. Because it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And that's just what it is with me. That's just what it is with me. That's, it's like me, Juanita, and Jamie having, and it's like me, Juanita, and Drew having, the best friendship for 10 years. And when it's time for me to say goodbye and I'm leaving, I just smack the hell out of each and every one of you. It's like I just smack you all right in the forehead, pow. And when people ask you, what's your last thought on Joe? Like, what are you going to think about? Like, be honest. You're going to think about the Band-Aid that you wear on your forehead now. Like, that's what it is. I can't forgive him, Juanita. I can't forgive them, Jamie.
No. You really can't. That's it. Like, the show's over. It's not a show that you can sit down and think, yeah, I'm gonna go and rewatch this series because it's that good. It's like, no, I don't even want to rewatch the series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure HBO lost a lot of subscribers. I mean, they
Yeah.
gained a lot for the season. They just lost everything. Nobody wants to watch
Right.
anything else.
They're just like, HBO is just like, what the hell did we do?
It's so, it's just such a I'm so shocked. Like that's what I wasn't even looking for. Yeah, I'll watch it whenever. But I didn't start watching till I think 39, 40 or something like that. After like airing.
Here, take over from here. I'm about to. Well, everyone, I got Drew coming back over here to the mic. I am about to roll out, go home and get me some sleep for the
Yeah,
next
same
morning.
here. Go to work tomorrow morning.
It was. Well, I would like to say thank you to everyone on stream who allowed me, Jamie, Drew, and Juanita to vent tonight. Because if I didn't vent, I think my eyeballs would have fell out of my head from pressure. It was bad. It was really bad. Like I literally rushed over here just to talk about this with you guys. And for the people on stream tonight who disagree with anything that I said, Juanita or Jamie, we appreciate you guys too, because that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to see what others thought. So
Yeah.
great argument, great sportsmanship. Because hey, it is what it is. Now I guess that I need to find me a new show to watch.